G'day and welcome back to Shedhouse Motorcycles. I'm Rowan Mason and this is my channel for product review, how-to videos and the restoration of bikes from the 70s, 80s and 90s. This week, week 4, part 2 of the 7-week challenge to put the Rd250lc back together. We continue on with the wiring repair. You'll recall from part 1 where we stripped the loom down, identified some previous repair work and started to rectify that as we retaped the loom. We finished at the point of extending the battery wiring and the rear loom for the tail light and indicator lights, which had been cut and shortened as it had a cafe racer rear end on the bike when I bought it. This episode will continue from there, doing that rectification work to the battery wiring and the tail lights in readiness for part 3, which will be putting the wiring loom back in the bike frame and starting connecting to the accessories. I want to show you how, so hang around. I've put a black wire here. I've got some heat shrink here, which is going to cover that when we're finished. The soldering iron should be hot now, just a bit longer. While we're waiting for that, we're going to extend this one. This is the main earth of the battery, and I'm not going to terminate this. I'm just going to leave them loose, unterminated, because there's a piece of loom that I've bought that goes from the battery to the loom with connectors, so I'm not sure how long this needs to be, but I definitely know this needs to be longer. You just got to wait for the soldering iron to heat up. Been warm enough to do this one. So the trick with soldering, pin your iron, bring your iron up, let the heat transfer, the solder will melt pretty easily. You don't have to push it in. When it's ready, it'll take it. Let's see if we can get that down a little bit so you can see it. Once you see the solder start to run into the wire, that's all you need to do. Doesn't need to be any more than that. Doesn't need a heap of solder. You're just fusing the two pieces together. And then we run this piece of shrink over it. You could actually even leave it like that. It'll sort itself out as time goes on. So we can either try and push this up under. Here's another thing we'll try. Do that. Okay, then we'll just use the old wire as to bring it down and through. That shrink will heat up itself naturally. That'll come down. And we'll just leave that here for the minute. And we'll just extend this one. And on we go. So I'm just going to put a bit of insulation tape around these two to tell me that they're the battery ones, because I'm still not sure what this one's for. That'll tell me that's for the battery. Okay, so I've got that done. So pretty much we can finish off this piece. So we'll start a loom here, go along this all the way down. Now what we do need to do is work out what's going on down here at the, do we need to do anything to make it hold its place down at this tip? The taping goes that way and then this piece takes over, so we can just hold that there for the minute because we know what's going on. get that out the way. And what we want to do is tape this bit. So that'll be here. Goes through there and it's following on. And then we just need to put a bit of this Is there a fold in this stoplight wiring that tells me a story? I think it just tells me that story. It goes to about there. So it's okay for that to be there. Okay, let's get this off. Let's get that out of there. It looks like it went to there, doesn't it? It looks like that went to there, so we need to bring that in when we're doing the job. Get this all down here for these three. So those three sit out there when we're doing the loom. This one we need to remember to bring it into there. Okay, now using our tape, I'm going to take that piece of insulation tape out because I'm holding it with my hand now. Then I'm getting the tape those three need to be over there, so we're going up and over. Back and over, and then we're going to start going down this track, and we're pushing it right into that corner there, and we're using our hand as a rest along the wire, and we're going half on, half off. Get rid of that insulation tape. Where were we? That's why this got all bound up. We want to come in nice and tight there. And then we pick up that half and half again. And remembering these three came out like that. Follow it down. Half and half. Doesn't have to be tight, just has to be covering. So that's our first piece of repair. What we'll do now is come back to this side. We'll start here and we'll go that way because that can finish that off. Now this does go to the, that will be the three phases of the alternator. I reckon that is the neutral lights switch. There's a plug there for that, and there's a plug there for that, which I reckon will be ignition, because there's a similar one. These orange and black are up here as well, so I reckon that's ignition. So this part's done, tidied up. Now what we're going to do, coming back to all the things I've said earlier, we'll catch this piece up in a... Actually, you know what? We can actually come down to about... Hey, if you're enjoying watching the LC come back together, please like and subscribe to the channel. With a subscription, you'll be notified of the next episode in the series. So we'll start here. We'll go past, come over, come around, go over, come back. Try to keep the wiring flat, just makes it easy. Need to resolder that. Okay, back to the story. Let's just finish this off down over the... We'll leave it at about that insulation there, that joint there, and see what it looks like on the bike. Right, let's get this main loom done and then we can pick up the repair work that needs to happen right down here. So what we're going to do in this part is just tape down to here, and then we're going to have to work out all this repair work. Now what we're going to do is turn this loom around and focus our attention on here. Get that out of the way, that goes that way. We really need to focus our attention here where the wiring loom needs to extend for the tail light, and we need to probably put it on the frame and work out what we're doing here with about this fuse box. So let's just strip this bit for the minute. Okay, this is where the loom tape's underneath and the insulation tape's over the top. Got this black wire, we don't know what it's for, we're taking it out. But if I look at the wiring diagram, it might tell me something. If I look at the color code for the wiring diagram, it could tell me what the heck's going on. So it's hooked into the blue with brown. So I'd say it's hooked into taillights for some reason. The taillights come up to here and plug in. So that we could probably just tidy this up and fix it up, and that'll be fine. But definitely the two blacks and the two earths and the two indicator light wires have been cut. So maybe if we just extend them for the minute and then work that out once it's on the frame. The question is, how do we fix this without making it look too miserable? I've got an idea. Might work. Let's see if that does work. And my idea is this: in the iron, get some solder on it, give me some heat, and get some heat in it, and get this black wire off. Yep. Okay, so part one of that repair. Get rid of that wire. We don't need it. Might just put some insulation tape there to tell us what the junction point is. About here, we'll make a cut. Okay, we put that down to there. Need to make 2 cuts where they're not too bad and obvious. Make one here. Right, that's that. Okay, that's joined. That one there. Yep. Okay, and that will put that piece over there. Just need to put a bit of heat on them and shrink it up. And I think we're good to go. Let's tidy that up. And then we'll probably put in the loom back into the bike and have a look how we're going to fix this before we continue on with this bit, I think. Yep, let's do that. Well, that's it for part 2 of week 4. Next week we'll put the wiring loom into the frame. We'll start connecting the accessories and get as much as we can done around connection and having the wiring loom in its permanent position in readiness for us to continue on with putting the bike back together. The week after that we'll concentrate on brakes. So until then, stay safe, keep in your shed, keep watching Shedhouse Motorcycles, and I'll see you then.